And apparently I angered the owner, Ken Shilley, and I apologize, Ken. I didn't mean to make you angry. And he got so mad, he kicked me off. And that was awesome. And so he tried to kick me off one day, and this is the end of the conversation. It's a 5-minute conversation, but this is a clip of it. I think it's the, what's it say?
It's either Dave, you're done. Or
Oh, yeah, Dave, you're done. Okay. I'm done.
Dave,
I paid $5.
I'm telling you.
Every time they're here.
Hey, Dave, you're done. You are done.
I don't understand what
You
that
are
means.
done.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, well, you'll find out.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll be here.
All right.
Because until you list something I've done illegally, I will not leave the property. Because it's private public.
We'll see. No, it's not public. I don't know. You're off in some fantasy land.
I'm hiding the video. So Ken Shilley and Bobby Bussey come over, and Bobby I'm friends with, that poor guy. He was being forced to be part of that. And this is a long time ago. So I wasn't making any money there, so I didn't see any logic of doing my tournaments there. So I moved the 3v3 rock and roll to Phoenix College to give that event to raise money for the soccer program there, and that made him mad. So mad that I came back the next day, and here comes the officers. Yes. Sure. Yes, sir.
I'm here because supposedly you can't be here. Is that right? Were you trespassed from here and told not to come back?
I received an email Friday. I think 5 o'clock. We had practice scheduled here at 5:30, and Ken came here yesterday and told me that I'm not allowed to be here.
Does Ken own the property?
He does own the property.
Well, in Arizona, if the property owner doesn't want you here, you can't be here.
Right. Except he's invited the public to be here,
Okay.
and
But if he doesn't want you here, same like QT. QT can trespass anybody they want. It's open to the public, so they don't want him here.
Okay, that's not how I understand it, because I'm part of the Arizona Hammers. We have a relationship. We actually have a 10-year lease on the property.
You have a lease on the property?
The club does.
And you're no longer involved with the club, Dave.
I am. I'm the creator, the founder, and I'm a coach.
Here's
so
the deal.
Doesn't make a difference anyway.
Here's the deal. If you're part of something that has a lease, that's one thing.
Right.
If you're not part of that organization, it's false reporting to police. So are you part of that organization?
Absolutely.
Or are you not part of it?
That's my truck. There's my logo of the
If he has
Hammers.
a lease, he has a legal right to do it.
No, he does not have a lease.
Do you carry papers with
the
you?
lease.
Actually, I think I have it on my. I have my own phone on my Dropbox.
Pay me up on the lease. That's fine, Dave. You owe me about $20,000 on that lease. It said in the lease that you owe me $2,000 a month. You paid me zero money. It's done. It's over. And it was a false lease anyway.
How is it false? How's it false?
Huh?
Now you're discussing other things, because these gentlemen are here for trespassing. If there's
It's a whole different
So back to your
Yes.
agreement, you have documentation and stuff like that.
You show me that
Yes.
lease.
I know it's
I have it on my phone. I have my phone.
You show me where you
On the
paid
lease, it states all the business we bring
me. Show me where
you.
you paid me.
We paid 20 grand for
no
those.
Is there
longer-
a contract? Is there a
Besides-
lease?
There is a
Is
lease.
it a verbal or is it written?
It's written, signed by him.
Okay,
Yeah.
where is it? Do you have it with you?
Yeah, show it to me.
I have it on my phone, but I'm recording this conversation to protect myself.
That's fine. If
Okay,
you have
I'm glad you are.
you can do whatever you want. If you have a lease, that's one thing. If you're part of an association that has it, that's one thing.
Right.
He's not
If there's-
even part of the association.
But whoever has the lease, if they allow him to be here,
The Hammers does. He is no longer involved with the Hammers.
well, who represents the Hammers?
Jason Rowe, right there.
Who's Jason?
Right there.
The gentleman
blue?
standing.
Yep, in the blue.
Okay.
I'll talk to him.
Let's see if he.
We just have to understand. I mean, I've tried to get understanding of why he wants me off the facility, because I've done nothing wrong. Or you want to tell him what I did wrong?
Here's what it boils down to. If you have a legal right to be here, you can be here.
Right.
If you don't, the property owner can decide who can be here.
Right. Now,
If he doesn't want you here, he doesn't need a reason.
Yeah.
You don't have legal standing.
okay.
And besides, I'm not taking the Hammers out of here. I'm taking
They're
Dave
not
Cameron.
allowed to play games without a coach. Do you not understand that?
Then if you want to take your team elsewhere, that's fine.
But that's not the agreement we have in place.
We don't have an agreement.
we bring teams here that pay $5 a car to be
Let me
here.
find out what's going on.
Okay.
Tammy says there's a lease agreement with you guys for an X amount of years to be here to do business, and right now we're just trying to establish his legalities with the lease and his rights to be here.
Well, the original question is, he says I don't belong to Hammers in any capacity, and that's what we're trying to find out, because he's already acknowledged there's a lease.
Okay.
Is there a
So
lease?
There's a lease with the Arizona Hammers.
Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. Is he
Is
part,
he
of,
a
the
part of that
Arizona-
organization?
Arizona Hammers?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, then you need to, if there is a lease, you need to either get rid of that lease,
Okay.
or the other avenue I suggested earlier. All right, well, you're part of it. You can stay today. That's all I need to know.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Did I get kicked off?
Yeah.
No, I had a legal.
I was wondering, yeah.
So I got a lease on the property as a member of the Arizona Hammers board of directors, as the director of coaching. A 10-year lease, signed twice, so we kept it at 10 years. And we're doing that for a couple reasons. One, we want to protect ourselves, and two, we wanted to. You have to have at least a 10-year lease to be able to get to apply for certain grants to get money to get like turf fields and stuff like that. So. Yeah, we had a lease that signed twice. And this is what happened, not to sidetrack from everything else, but that's kind of how I roll. The board of directors, which I should have on this show now, it's kind of went on. Stacy Farmer, Marty Flores, who else was on that board? All the board members. They decided after to tear up the lease and I just get out of the lease. So they tore up the lease and signed a different agreement or whatever. And then, of course, Arizona Hammers were kicked off within, I think, 10 months. Could be wrong. But what we should do is have the Arizona Hammers board that stabbed me in the back, which is okay, and have a conversation. What happened? Why'd you do that?
What was the huge deal? I'm
So-
trouble following.
Yeah, it was very confusing. Nothing made sense. So I didn't get any money for all the time and energy I put into that facility. I just created things. I brought in the Food City tournament, AYSA. I created tournaments, the 3v3 Glow, the 3v3 Rock and Roll. I was just trying to bring any sorts of income to keep Ken Chili happy, which seemed impossible, and I think it's impossible to this day. But I was doing whatever I could to make that happen. And then it was becoming very apparent that I wasn't going to ever make a nickel from that place. And the things kept changing far as, Hammers didn't have to pay they had to pay because they weren't getting enough money. And all that work I did and all that stuff, it was just too much. I'm like, you know what? Why am I giving him more money? I mean, 3v3 Rock and Roll, 3v3 Glow, any Arizona Hammers tournaments, all the tournaments we were running brought him thousands upon thousands of dollars. And I'm like, why am I giving it to him? I'm like, I'm getting no return on it. I'm getting yelled at to do more. I'm like, why do I want to be in that environment? So I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm going to just focus on Phoenix College and raise money for them. If I'm going to give money, I'll rather give it to Phoenix College student athletes. And because I did that, he kicked me out because I heard him. Because I took the 3v3 Rock and Roll, and that took $7,000 from me. And if I don't get that $7,000, I won't be able to sleep at night. As he's taking $20 bills and blowing snot bubbles through his nose and stuff. I need more money. So I was getting out of it. And they tore up the lease and stuff, and eventually I was not allowed to be on that property. And I was coaching the 96 Hammers, and they were good. We did really well. We had a train in my backyard for 2 months or a month and a half before State Cup. That sucked. Anyways.
Is that why you had all those nets set up?
Yeah, I created
Oh, man.
in our little backyard. I mean, we have a bunch of video of training the 96
I remember
Hammers.
that.
Yeah, and we had to do everything there and just figure it out. And we did. And life moves on. So that's the story with that. And it's interesting. If you have any comments or questions about that, I'll tell you everything.
actually do have a comment. It's not.
If you enjoyed that clip, you can enjoy all the clips at youtube.com/Coach Cameron Soccer to get all my content. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know what's going on and when we appear online, which is typically every Sunday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Hope to see you this Sunday for our next live show.